All right. So this is a non-typical call. Okay. This is one of our mindset Mondays. This is where I get in. I get all emotional. I get crazy on these. So bear with me. But this is going to be a little bit different. So I'm not going to give a presentation or anything. I feel like it's a little bit weird, especially when you talk about mindset stuff to read off a fucking slide. So I'm going to dive into a couple things that I think are going to be really powerful. And I want you guys to kind of walk through this. And you don't have to say anything out loud, but you can if you want to. Or you can type shit in the chat if you want to too. But I know the title of this was about guilt and shame, and I'm going to get to that. We're going to talk about that. But there's a bigger, as I was thinking about this and thinking about talking about guilt and shame and all these feelings that we have, I was digging a little bit deeper and trying to really put a symbol to what I'm trying to articulate properly when I talk about guilt and shame. And so I thought of something that's always been a personal thing of mine, and I think you guys are gonna jive with this, and I think it's gonna help. But we're gonna get deep. We're gonna get deep. So here's how do I want to start this? So I want you guys to imagine a couple different scenarios. Okay, I want you guys to really imagine this. You don't have to tell me what you're thinking. You can, like I said, if you want to. I want you to imagine. Let's start with the bar. Let's get in there. See how that's going. All right. So let's imagine going to a bar, right? And you're about to get into a fight. Something's escalating, right? And you're about to fight somebody, and that person is a strong motherfucker, and you're like kind of nervous, like, damn, this may go south, right? But you're there, you're ready to rock and roll. Who would be a person that you could think of in that scenario that could come stand next to you and all the nerves would go away? Okay, I want you to think about that. So let's say you're in a bar, you're ready to fight somebody. You're like, fuck, this is getting nasty. Then somebody comes and stands next to you, and now you're like, oh, let's fucking go, right? Now you're pumped. Now you're ready, right? Me. Love you, Liz. That's right. I want you guys to imagine that person. All right. Imagine that person. Actually, imagine that person. Okay. Think of somebody. Could be fucking Superman. Could be Leonardo. Could be fucking whoever. I don't know. Yeah, James. All right, Brian. There we go. Who else? Yeah, throw some shit in the chat, you guys. Think about this. If you were, it could be anybody. It could be a made up person, somebody you know in person. Think about it. If you were about to fight somebody, who would you want next to you that would make you feel like this person's fucked? Like this person just picked the wrong dude. Okay. Best friend Mike. Here we go. Most like to start the fight. Yeah. Brad Pitt Fight Club. Hell yeah. Yep. Yep. Chuck Norris. That would come from the karate background. I like it. Reacher. Oh yeah, Reacher. 100% for sure. Yeah. Yeah. Chuck. Bruce Lee. Yeah. Now we're cooking. Yeah. Fuck yeah. Actually, yeah, that's a good one. Good, right? So imagine that scenario. You're there, you're about to fight somebody, and then that person comes right next to you. Fucking Bruce Lee, Chuck Norris, right? All these motherfuckers. And now you're like, oh, we're good, right? Now you feel so confident, comfortable. This person in front of you is fucked, right? Now I want you to imagine something like that, a different scenario, okay? I want you to imagine that something really bad just happened. Like really bad. Somebody close to you died. Somebody close to you is really sick. I mean, some really horrible shit that would destroy you emotionally. And now somebody came and sat next to you that made you feel so much better. Obviously, the thing is still really bad, but you have that person next to you that makes it doable. Okay, I want you to imagine who that person is. So you just got some awful, awful news. You feel horrible. You feel hopeless. You feel depressed. All the fucking things, the worst imaginable things that you could possibly feel. And that one person comes and sits next to you. I want you guys to put that Brian, mom, absolutely, 100%. Yeah, who else? You guys have met, put it in the chat. Whoever you're thinking, could be somebody you know. It doesn't even have to. You don't have to label them to us. Like you could just say their name or some shit. But just imagine that person, right? Emotionally, mom. Yep, 100%. Yeah, husband, work husband. There you go. Still Chuck Norris. That's fair. That's fair. You can't go wrong with him. Mom, Regina. Yep. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. So think about that. Think about being a really emotional, awful spot. Okay. And then having that person there. Powerful, right? You can imagine stepping into that emotion and having it being so paralyzing and conflicting. And then boom, you have somebody there, right? And it can make a massive, massive difference. Now, imagine a different scenario, okay? Another one. Imagine that you, let's say you wound up, this is a weird scenario, but let's say you, let's say you just wound up, you woke up, you had no idea where the fuck you were. Okay. You were like a different country. Everybody's speaking different languages and shit. You don't know what's going on. You have no wallet, right? Everything's gone. And you don't know anybody. Everybody's strangers. Nobody talks the same fucking language. You can't figure out how you even got there. You have no wallet, no money, no nothing. But then you turn the corner and you see somebody. And you're like, thank fucking God, right? Like somebody is there. Somebody that you know that makes you feel safe and comfortable, even though you were just a second ago fucking scattered, right? You had no idea where you were. Nobody's talking the right language. You're fucking lost. You don't know what's going on. And then boom, you turn the corner and you found somebody. It could be anybody. It could be somebody that just resembles home, right? Like, holy shit, I was so foreign for a second there. I was so lost. I had no idea what the fuck was going on. And then you see somebody and it's like, damn, like, thank God you're here. I don't know what the fuck was going on. Everybody got it? Everybody think of somebody? Yeah? Everybody still with me here? Still Bruce Lee? James again? Okay. All right. Now, here's the point of all this. Maybe some of you know where I'm going with this. The point of this is that in every one of those scenarios, you're leaning on somebody else to make you feel okay. You're leaning on somebody else because you're at a deficit in some way, and you're leaning on somebody to make you feel safe, to make you feel secure, to make you feel at home, despite what's in front of you, whether it's a physical thing, whether it's an emotional thing, or whether you're just fucking lost. And you have that person next to you that just makes it surmountable. It makes it easy for you to overcome, or easier, right? The point of all of this is that that person should be you. If you were next to you in every one of those scenarios and you felt as safe and as tough and as powerful as you did imagining those other people next to you, you would never drift in your decisions. You would never feel judged. You would never feel like you had to change who you were or what you were doing, because you felt okay. You felt safe. You felt comfortable. You felt powerful. And I think what I realized is that when I thought about all these different scenarios that I was in or that I would go in, and I would think about, man, how good it would feel to have that person next to me, to feel powerful, to feel safe, to feel secure, without realizing that what that also meant is that I wasn't those things. I wasn't enough of those things for me to feel comfortable with me. Now, if you're about in a physical fight and you got, fucking Chuck Norris with you, I mean, you may have to get some skills down. But the point is that most of us feel safe or protected when we're around somebody else because they have something that we lack. And instead of realizing that and becoming the fuller person where we don't need anybody else, we still rely on other people for that. The problem with that is that you can get controlled from that. Okay. If you give your power out, then it can be taken, which means that you can be manipulated and you can be swayed because you're not strong enough to hold your own. Okay. The people who are most successful, the people who don't give a fuck what people think of them, the people who can be themselves so authentically have themselves standing beside themselves all the time. And that's enough. For a lot of us, it's not. For a lot of us, it is not enough. You are not enough. You're not enough of the type of person that would make you feel safe and secure and protected by being next to you. Does that make sense? If that rings true for anybody, put a one in the chat or a yes. Something. If that at least makes sense. Yeah, we got some. Mm-hmm. So here's the thing. You can't rent those feelings forever, right? If you created the bridge to those feelings where you could feel those things without having those people next to you and it was just you next to you, then you've become what I would consider your higher self. And this is where it gets weird. So, this is where I bring my shit in. So, I love that, Brian. Yeah. Jesus, attacked? Actually attacked? Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Wow. But yeah, I completely understand that, right? It's like you were attacked. Let's say you were attacked, you didn't know what the fuck to do. And then all of a sudden you learned how to defend yourself. Now in that same situation, like you don't need somebody else to defend you because you know what to do. That is literally the exact thing. Yeah, it's exactly what I'm talking about. And then you can do that exact same thing in every avenue, whether it's emotionally, whether it's situationally, even figuring out a problem, whether it's financially, it's whatever. Like you can become that person. And so I think what's missing here is the bridge. And so let me tell you how I came to this. Lindsay can attest to this. So took a shit ton of mushrooms once. By accident, actually, on a fasted stomach. And if you know anything about mushrooms, horrible idea. First time too, fucked up, destroyed. And so yeah, I tripped. All right, I was fucking tripping. Best idea. Yeah, I went on a fucking journey. So what's really funny is I was supposed to go on a journey with my buddy, but he did not go on the journey. I took that one solo. So we all, went on the couch. I went into fucking La La Land, and everybody else was fine, which made me panic even more because I don't know if anybody's ever taken mushrooms, you feel anxiety, and everybody around you is normal, and you're fucking not. Makes you feel even worse. So anyway, here I am on fucking Pluto, and I'm telling Lindsay to. I literally like she can she can attest that I couldn't speak, so I did this like a dog, like to sit down, because I couldn't fucking speak. And what I was trying to say is make sure I breathe. So I didn't know what the fuck was going on. So she sat next to me, and about 87 days go by. What it felt like. And so here's what's funny. So I've never been religious. I personally have never believed in religion, God, or anything. So I had this void. I had this void of not having like this higher power that other people had, and it's gotten a lot of people through what they do, and I was always disconnected from that. I didn't have that. So fast forward to me being on Pluto, and what was really weird, and this happens to a lot of people who take mushrooms, is I found this voice. I don't even know what the fuck it was. I can't even describe shit because it was on mushrooms. But it was this thing that like made me feel safe. Okay, so I was flipping out. I didn't know what was going on, right? And there was this thing that made me feel safe. It was like this thing, this entity that was looking at me. I know it sounds fucking crazy, but that was like looking at me and kind of smirking, like, dude, you're gonna be fine. But like kind of smirking because he kind of thought it was funny, like he's been there and like he knows that everything's gonna be okay. Almost like a father type figure, but like cooler, you know. And so what I realized is that it was me. And this is where it gets even weirder. It was a version of me that actually had all of the things that I wanted, the confidence, the discipline, the all the stuff. And he went through it already. He went through the ups, the downs. He conquered everything. He went through the situations that were awful. He came out on top. He forged himself through the fires of life, right? And now here he is looking back at that point before he forged those or was forged in those fires, looking at me and kind of smirking, knowing all of the things that I'm about to go through and the fact that it's going to be okay. But for me, I was freaking out because I haven't gone through those things yet. But I was looking at this version of myself, looking at me, smirking. I'm panicking. He's laughing, right? Because he's so confident in everything that's going to happen that it's all going to work out. And what I realized right then and there was that I am God. No, I'm kidding. Oh shit, I had to say no. But what I realized is that I had a version of myself that I could be that I wasn't yet. And this followed me through for a really long time. And so I've gone through a lot of, therapy and all this different stuff. And what I realized was that in all the situations where I felt anxious, depressed, worried, any type of negative emotion, what I was missing was that version of myself. I didn't need anybody else. I needed myself. I needed the version of me that could handle that. And when I felt like I had that version, like Brian was just saying, when he got attacked and he actually knew what to do, like when you have that version of yourself, you don't need anybody else. And so to relate this back to weight, I always say, it's not you losing 20 pounds that's the real goal, or whatever the fuck the weight is, right? We'll just say 20. It's not you losing 20 pounds that's the real goal. It's you becoming the version of you that's 20 pounds less. It's you becoming the higher form of you, the version of you that wasn't ruled by immediate gratification. They didn't need the cookies. They didn't need to overeat at night. They worked out every day. They didn't care if they liked to or not. It's what they agreed to do. It was the version of me that I could be. And when you step toward being that version, you don't need anything else. You don't need other people. You can actually be happy and content with who you are. You don't give a fuck if you go out to eat and people make fun of you because you're eating shrimp, right? You can tell them to go fuck off because you don't need people. You don't need things. And I think all of the journeys that we're on, whether it's losing weight or gaining muscle and working out and all this kind of shit, all it's doing is bringing us closer to that higher form of yourself. And I think you have to understand that you're not that person right now. And I think this is like the most, like the hard, humbling part of this is that if there's a higher version of yourself, that also means that you're not it, right? If there's a higher, and thank God, right? Like we don't want to reach our final form, right? That would suck. So like, if there's a higher version of you, there's a lot of things that you're not doing. There's a lot of things that version of you is doing. And this is where, what's his name? The dude that runs really long and just tells everybody they're a pussy, basically.
Goggins.
Thank you. Yep. Love it. Goggins. Yeah. So he always said this where he was like, he said his biggest fear in life, I think I've said this before, but his biggest fear in life is dying and then going to heaven. And then God showing him the version of himself that actually hit all the goals, seeing what he could have become, looking at the version of him, staring the version of him in the face that didn't take the easy route, that actually put the work in and took out of life everything that he possibly could have, and looking at how different that person is from him. And that is the biggest fear that he's ever had. And when you think about that, you think about all the shit that you could be and you could build up to. It's inspiring, actually, because like you can think about all the version of you that can handle all these situations. And E.T., the hip hop preacher, amazing dude. But he always said this: the scariest place in the world is the graveyard, and it's not scary because people died. It's scary because of how many dreams died along with those people. If you think about all the people, everybody, people who pass away and their dreams just died at some point. All the things that they could have accomplished or they could have become died. And most of them died for dumb fucking reasons because people are more concerned about what fucking Susie Q over here thinks of them than themselves. Most people are afraid that people are going to judge them. Most people will happily not level up themselves because it keeps everybody else around them happy, which is so fucking fucked up. Like, you're going to die. You're literally going to die. And nobody's going to remember you after a fucking year. Like, let's be real. Like, you're going to die and it's going to be like, oh my God. People at your funeral are going to be talking about what they're eating for breakfast the next day. Like, think about this for real. It's fucked up. But you're gonna be at everybody's gonna be at your funeral. They're gonna be like, oh, what are we eating here? And then they're gonna do like their weird, awkward thing where they're kind of like looking at people. They're gonna say hi to your family and shit. Then they're gonna leave. And nobody's gonna fucking talk about you for a while. And you're more afraid of what these random people are gonna think of you. Think about how fucked up that is. But then think about on the other side, if you were able to imagine who you actually could become. And if that's all you needed by your side, the things that you could possibly accomplish, if you let all that shit go and realize that nobody really gives a fuck, and you actually put your sights on who you could actually become and what you could actually accomplish, there's no end. You could do anything. You could absolutely do anything. And you could be unshackled from all the people that are around you. And I think what happens to a lot of us is we get so stuck in life because of all this bullshit around us and what people think of us or what we think of ourselves. We're afraid to look silly. We're afraid to whatever the fuck. And what's really dying is yourself. Like the version of you that's up there looking down. You want that person to be smirking at you, smiling because they know what you're about to go through and who you're about to become. Not crying because you'll never actually see it. If your dreams die with you, that is the true sadness, not death itself, right? There was something I read in a book once. The book was the book was called "Ignore Everybody." It was great. It's a great book. Great advice, by the way. And said something in there where it was like everybody was put here to climb their own Mount Everest, right? Everybody has their own mountain in life to climb that makes them them. And if you never reach the summit, you can be forgiven. But if you never try, you'll never be forgiven. And I think a lot of this depression, anxiety, and all this other bullshit that's going on in my mind is just this is where guilt and shame and everything come in. I think these emotions like guilt and shame and even depression and anxiety is nothing more than you choosing a road that goes against your higher self. I think all of those emotions come down to the same fucking thing. It's your higher self is that way and you're going that way. And you're going to feel guilt, you're going to feel shame, you're going to feel depression, you're going to feel anxiety, you're going to feel all the shit as you fucking should, by the way, because that's the version of yourself giving you a signal that you're not doing the shit that you should be doing to reach that form. And I think when you start to rebrand these emotions like that, it's really powerful. Because when you start to feel the guilt or the shame or the anxiety, you can actually use it. And some of these emotions are the opposite, excitement, anxiety, nervousness. Those could be signs that you're on the right road, right? Depression, guilt, shame, those could be signs that you're on the wrong road, as long as it's your guilt and shame, not somebody else's. Different thing. But I think those emotions are really, really powerful. And I see people try to like not numb themselves, but like play down the emotions. Like, don't feel guilty. Fuck that. Feel guilty. You should feel more fucking guilty. Like, I'll make you feel fucking guilty, right? Because that is a sign that you're not doing something that you think that you should be doing. Again, your guilt. If somebody's trying to make you feel guilty, that's just stupid. But if it's your guilt or your shame, then it's a sign. It's a sign that you're not doing what the higher you, actually want you to do. And it's kind of, I don't know, what I've found is the only way that you can actually tap into that, unless you want to get fucked up on mushrooms, which I don't suggest. It is the shorter route, but may not come out of there the same. Anyway, but those emotions are probably the best way for you to have a touch or a sense of what road you're on. Because without those, how would you even know? I'm down, Brian. I'm down. How would you know? Right? Like, we have so many conflicting things. You got people over here, let's say you wanted to leave your job and start something new, or you're gonna have your family saying no, and you should keep your job, you should stay safe, right? And like, is that good? No. Like, internally, if you feel like you're missing out, if you feel like shameful for not taking the chance, if you feel, that's a sign that you should be doing the thing, right? You have to ignore everything else because nobody else fucking matters. Again, not to get even more morbid, but imagine your own funeral. Everybody's going to cry for a minute, and then they're going to eat fucking, I don't know, Cheetos the next day, right? Everything goes back to normal, right? You were just a thing. That's it. That's all it is. Fucking Queen Elizabeth, right? When's the last time you said her name? She was a pretty big deal, right? She did some shit in life, right? When's the fucking last time you said her name? Probably not. Never till now, right? Point is, even the most successful people in life, nobody cares about them afterwards. And so we have to stop caring what other people think and just care about what you think. And what I mean by that specifically is the version of you that you know you can become, the inner you. Maybe that's God, maybe that's religion for a lot of you guys. It probably plays the same thing that this does. But I think visualizing that version of you and living your life so you make that person proud is probably the best possible thing that you could do. Wow. So I want you guys to really think about, like, even when you think about following plans and nutrition and exercise and all that kind of stuff, like, this is much bigger than just losing weight. Like, the scale is just a scoreboard for how much closer you're getting to yourself. That's it. That's all it is. If you have a goal and your body fat percent is a certain goal, your weight is a certain goal, a lift is a certain goal, a financial amount of money that you make per month is a certain goal. All those is different scoreboards to see how close you're getting to the actual version of yourself that hit all of those things, right? There is a version of you who did all the things that you actually want to do. There's a version of you who could accomplish all of that. And these markers that we look at, it's just a scoreboard to see if you're getting there or not. And if you're not, then you're letting yourself down. I don't give a shit about anybody else, but you're letting yourself down, which is why you feel guilt and shame and everything else. And you fucking should, because it's yourself telling you that you're not doing something that you should be doing, which is the only thing you should be listening to. Not anybody else's guilt or shame, but yours. So
I was gonna say, I feel like this would happen to me all the time, especially with like family, even friends. But I feel like a big thing for me was always family. And I feel like I would always change who I was every time I was around them to make them happy. And every single time I'd feel guilt about myself. Like, it's not what I want to do. It's not what I want to eat. It's not how I wanted to be in the situation. And every single time I would get so mad at myself because I was putting more respect into my family than I was what I actually wanted for me. And it just kept repeating this awful cycle over and over again. And it's hard because obviously you love your family, you love your friends, and they've always known you to be this person. And it's really hard to be a different person in that room. But you're just always going to repeat the same cycle if you don't basically level up in those situations. And it takes a lot to actually become the person you want to be in those rooms. And it usually you always get the opposite, where I'm sure a lot of you get all of the fit shaming when you're doing something different now, where people wouldn't have said anything beforehand if you were have another piece of cake, but if you want to have a salad now it's like, oh, you can't eat what you want to eat now. And until they actually see the results, I feel like it is a lonely place to be for a little bit, but at the end of the day, if it's your goal that you're aiming to get to. So I don't know. I feel like that was a big thing for me.
Yeah, it was massive for you. Yeah. And I think it's because you felt like you needed them for something, for security or safety or whatever. I mean, if you think about it, like, anytime you bend the knee to other people, it's like there's something that you don't have. Like there's something that you're lacking that you still need from somebody else. Like when you have the power to not need from anybody, it changes things. Like if you realistically think about your life right now and you honestly really really thought about it and you thought about all the decisions that you made or are making and you took all the fear out. You took all the fear out. Like, I mean, you were completely okay if you wound up fucking homeless as long as you were by yourself. Like, you didn't give a shit. Like, that's all you needed was you, and you were that confident. Think about all the things you'd probably be doing differently. You're probably doing things now, at least somewhat, out of safety or security or something that you need from other people that you're not getting from yourself. And I think that's a lot of what holds us back. And it's a lot of what holds us back for nutrition and shit too. Like a lot of us, are probably doing okay. And then all of a sudden, people are going out to eat or somebody brings shit over or there's something in the fridge we don't fucking want there and we start eating it. Right? Like, you're still bending that knee to other people instead of just radically being with yourself and being okay with it, which is a pretty scary thing, but it's only scary if you're not the person that you want to walk next to, right? If you would be safer walking next to somebody else, it's because you're lacking whatever that person has. And that's why you want to be next to them. That's why it feels good. That's why it feels safe. But imagine that in every scenario, whether something emotionally brutal just happened, whether you were ready to fight somebody, right? Whether you wanted to feel safe because you were in some distant land, you were in Pluto, right? And you felt safe and confident and protected being next to yourself. Imagine how powerful you would feel. Losing the weight is just a byproduct of that. Gaining the muscle is just a byproduct of that, right? Like becoming the higher version of yourself is the goal. Can anybody else relate, especially to something like what Lindsay said?
I 100% agree with that, with what Lindsay said. And I thank you for saying that because I felt like for me, in a way, like this summer spent, like I was with my family for like the first time, like all together for like a month straight. And it's interesting because like beforehand, like with my father and my mother, like I'd see them often and like they would question a lot of the things that I was like, it was funny, like in regards to like when I started eating cauliflower rice, they'd be like, holy
Mm-hmm.
shit, like you're eating that whole thing. And I'm just like, I was like, yo, this is like 3/4 of what you're eating technically right now. But like, but regardless, they were like, okay, he's not under eating or anything like that. But for me, like when I was in Poland and stuff, uh like I felt very safe in terms of being around my family and like making up these like little excuses almost in a way. And I think
Mm-hmm.
like one thing that like kind of like really opened my eyes a little bit to it because it was almost like my mind was like playing little tricks and games with myself. But like,
Yep.
regardless, no matter what your goal is, it's all like even I saw someone post something like this the other day, but it's mad lonely at the top.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
It's mad
absolutely.
lonely. It is, I think, even when I was like when I finished, I think my first 12 weeks or whatever, like there was like there was moments where I was just like I couldn't go like get myself to like go out almost in a way because I didn't want to put my like regardless of like not saying anything bad about my family or friends, but there's some things that like they do or something like that that I just know if I put myself in those situations, then I'm just gonna go back to that comfort almost of like having them by my side or something like that. But for me, yeah, I think it's like based off of everything that you said, that feeling of like almost being lonely, even though
Mhm.
you're at the top of like what you're doing, whatever it is financially, blah, 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 it's always gonna be lonely. And you gotta find that way to make sure that you do love yourself and have that power for yourself. So it's like,
Exactly. Yes.
that's, I think that's for me what I'm a little bit discovering right now too, in a way. Like, I mean, the first program that I did with you and now I'm doing this year long one. I mean, yeah, like it's no joke. It's like, you can't even reemphasize it. You just got to keep almost explaining in a way that it's going to get lonely, but it's totally worth it. You know,
And what you said,
it really is.
it's
And
it.
like, and regardless, like, that's why I was saying, even the mind plays tricks on you because like there was a moment where I was in Poland and I was like, okay, I'm going to eat this because my
Yeah.
family's eating this. And then now, like, in a way, now I'm looking at myself and I'm like, that guilt and shame is even worse than that shame or guilt that I was saying to myself, oh, maybe I shouldn't eat that or something like that. So yeah,
Yes.
it's 10 times worse. So
Yes.
keep to it. That's all I gotta say. Sorry for
Yeah.
yapping so much, but
Oh, I love
I
it.
love this shit.
That's yeah. So that's the thing too. There was I always forget who said this, but fuck. I don't know. Somebody can look it up after. But they said if you're lonely when you're alone, you're in bad company. Think about that. When you're lonely, if you're lonely when you're by yourself, then you're in bad company. Okay. And so what Rob said is true. Like it is lonely at the top. Like Suzanne, what you said is true. Like the more committed you get to goals, like the smaller and smaller that circle is. The people that actually, most people don't give a fuck. They only want you for what they want you for, whether it's to go out or go out to eat or whatever it is that they want from you. Most people are like that. And so, like, the people who genuinely want you to succeed and support are usually a lot less than you think. And then you start to see that. And so, going
Yeah, and
back,
I like had such a good summer. Like I'm just started back at work last week.
mm,
I work in a school, and it's chaos, but everyone's like, "Oh, how was your summer?" And I'm like, "It was awesome." And they're like, "What did you do?" And I'm like, nothing really. Like I took care of me. Like I walked, I went to the gym, uh, and like it made a difference because like from the start to now, like it does take me a little slower, but I had lost like 11 pounds, and it made a huge difference for me. And like I said, like the people that I want to surround myself with are the people who are like consistent with my goals. And like one of my friends, it's always like, okay, when are we going to Peloton next? When, my
yeah,
things are getting surrounded by, all right, let's go for a walk, not let's go out
huge.
to dinner. So,
But
which is
you
like a
did
huge
that,
shift.
like
Yeah,
it's
I
not like
did. I was
everybody
like,
around you all of a sudden wants to fucking walk. It's because like you did that and they're like, they're supporting you, which is awesome. Like that's
yeah, so it's been good. So everyone's like,
huge.
oh, really? Isn't that boring? I'm like, no, my kids were in day camp all day. I'm
Yeah.
like, so I like enjoyed my own time to me. Like I mean, like I'm a avid reader. So when I said that book, I actually looked it up and I just downloaded it.
Did
Um,
you? Oh, hell yeah.
so I'm at like 125 books for the year already. So like I
Oh
read
my
a lot.
God.
I read a lot.
Gotta up my
Um,
game.
yeah, I do a lot of reading. So it's one of those things. I'm like, I would go walk and then I would or I go to the gym, I go to walk and then I'd read. And like, that was good enough, you know?
And
Yeah,
like
it's
so
been. Oh,
no, go ahead. Go
well,
ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, because like you early on, Chad and I did, was on one of these calls with you about like you changed the person you are, and just in the last week, I mean, it's like I almost want to laugh, but also I feel so proud because Chad has been so adamant when we go out or when we're with friends or other people about sticking to our plan no matter what. So he had a good friend that want to come over and make us dinner on Friday night. And they all had this, pasta with pesto, which I freaking love pasta with pesto. But Chad told him like 3 or 4 days in advance, Regina and I are on the super strict diet and everything is about protein and we're not really going to drink. And so you can come and make us dinner, but it has to fit in the parameters of our diet. They were like, holy shit.
Holy shit.
Yeah, they were like, holy shit. So then they leave us this long voicemail, like, here's what we're planning to make. And if you want to provide the pasta, so we did like that mung bean, whatever
Yeah, you made your
pasta.
own.
Yeah, and then they did like a salad and they checked all the
Wow.
ingredients off the list with us. And then they did like a wine spritzer instead of full glasses of wine. So it still was like
Wow.
celebratory and the food was delicious. But they did what Chad said. And he's been like that with like everybody lately, even at the restaurant. He's like, if I'm going to order this food, how much does that weigh? How much is actually in that meal? Because I need to know how much
Let's
protein I'm
go.
like it's been
Love
That's
that.
amazing. I've been so
awesome.
proud of him.
I love that. That's so wild.
Do you want to pitch in, Chad?
Yeah, and then I'm like, okay, guys, I need more steps, so we're going for a walk after dinner.
Your friend's like, God damn, let's cook your food. I don't know what. Shit.
But it was like let's go to the chicken coop, let's go to the backwoods, let's go to the park.
Yeah, we walked them. They got their steps.
Yeah.
They ate healthy. I think they left feeling pretty good though.
Yeah, I think they're feeling really good.
We walked them.
Oh my God. It's been great though. But
That's
I mean, like from the first day, like from the first time we were on one of these calls with you until today, it's like unbelievable, even for both of us, the changes that we make and like our commitment and just feeling like, okay, well, this is me now. Like, it's not me feeling like, oh, I don't get to, because I used to crave peanut butter toast, like whole wheat peanut butter toast, like mad. And now I'm like, oh, well, when the time is right, I'll get to have that. And that will be my treat, but that's not yet.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
just
Yeah.
to bring it all back around to what you're saying, it's like the mindset of becoming this person that you want to
Yeah.
be is really, you're right. You do have to push some people away, or they have to, if they want your time. I mean, that's what I'm looking at. If people want my time still, like you're gonna follow my rule, like
Yeah,
on who I am becoming,
absolutely.
and I'm not gonna
Like a
go.
boundary you're setting for yourself now.
Yeah.
Can you get a 4-year-old to do that? That would be great.
Take it for a walk.
Hey, they learn from their parents. Just
There
watch
you go.
their parents.
Oh,
Show
he's-
the route.
Mine told me the other day, when I'm 41, I am going to be your boss and I'm going to put you to bed. I'm like, you can put me to bed now. That's
Yeah.
earlier the better.
And you can cook for me.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you can cook my meals, please.
That's
Can't
awesome.
do my laundry.
That's
Oh, my
funny.
kid wasn't allowed to leave. He wasn't allowed to leave the dinner table until he ate at least 2 pieces of asparagus today. So I was bad mom.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's so funny.
He was angry.
That's awesome. But no, I it's funny because I see, I think about it this way too, and I think everybody will kind of get this. We're in Canada, and Cole De Silva, I don't know if you guys all know who he is, but he's super fucking, he's very well known. Him and Brian Mark, they both have almost 1 million followers on Instagram, but they're also like super successful. I mean, these guys are taking in like 1 to 2 mil a month. Like they're that successful, right? And when I showed up and Cole was like, dude, you can work out when I'm working out if you want. I'm like, fuck yeah. Like I'll stop anything I'm running over. Right. Just to fucking talk to this guy for 5 minutes. And like, he's not changing his schedule at all, but I would change mine to be around him. And think about that. Right. It's like, I think a lot of us are doing that the wrong way. I think a lot of us are changing our schedules or doing things for people who don't give anything back. Like I did this purposely to grow and to become, to get value from somebody that I respect crazy substantially, right? But think about that. Somebody I respect and that I want to be around is the person who doesn't change anything about what he's doing, right? It's exactly what Chad just said. And it's like, if you're changing what you're doing for these people, like they don't respect you. they probably don't respect you. Like, it doesn't matter if they're friends or family or anything, but like you may think that, it's a good thing to change what you're doing. Oh, I'll have the cupcake tonight because you guys are. But like what you're really showing is like you're not you, and they don't respect that either. They'll just walk all over you. And you demand respect when you do whatever it is that you're doing, and people come anyway. It's a different caliber, it's a different thing. So yeah, no, all those little micro decisions add up massively to something big, like what Chad just said. Like that's a lifestyle shift. Like it starts with like, not buying the peanut butter this time. It starts with keeping the cookie in the cupboard or something. But then it turns into that. It turns into friends are coming over, like you're gonna cook my shit or don't. And I'm taking your ass for a walk. That's incredible. Which is, I'm just picturing like leashes and shit. It's hilarious. So,
Fuck my friends.
like, all right, boys, come on, round up. Yeah, or bring your own food. Yeah, God forbid you bring your own food. That's a whole fucking that's a thing. Yeah,
I remember I used to bring my own food to restaurants when Devin would want to like go out to eat because he was always bulking. I was always cutting. I could never like afford the calories to go out. At the time, we like weren't this educated. This was probably like over 10 years ago. So I was literally like starving myself. And I'd literally bring my containers with me to the restaurant just because I wanted to stay on like track with everything and not do what he was doing. So yeah, love it. Bring your own food.
Well, I did that yesterday because we had a baptism and I knew what they were serving. So I brought a salad so everyone could eat it. We brought a lot of the salad home because no one ate it, but
Yeah.
I did. And then I also brought a sandwich, but they did sandwiches, but I wasn't going to eat those sandwiches because it had like all the lunch meat and just processed stuff and mayonnaise and all that. So I brought my own like roll, the Royo roll with my own turkey. And then I put like the hot sauce on it. So it looked like I was eating their food without like not eating their food.
Yep.
But my stepdaughter walks up to me and she's like, "You're not eating the food, are you?" And I looked at her like, "No, I'm not." She's like, "I knew it." And I was like, "Why would I? Like, it's not worth it. Like, it's not worth it." And she's like, "No." She's like, "I wish I could be you." And I'm like, "You can, but just bring your own food." But so anyways, but I do want to say, I think it was Susan that actually talked about walking with her friends. My friends probably, if I told them your name, would hate you because that's all I do with them now. I'm always like, "You want to go out and do something? Let's go for a walk." And they're always like, "Sure." But so yeah, but thank you. I love that idea, and so now they just come walking with me. So we all go for long walks now. I'm like, because all you really want to do is spend time with them. So you don't really have to go eat or drink. We just want to spend time together. So that's my new thing. "Do you want to go for a walk?" Everyone's like, "Sure." So,
Yes.
so yeah, I guess, but then they complain about that they're overweight and they're not losing weight. And I'm like, "Well, go for a walk." And they're, "Why don't you eat better?" So yeah. Anyways, so thank you for all. I love the group and everything that they say in the chats and stuff because it makes me more motivated to do the things. And the one other thing I'll say, just sorry, but walking in the city, I had to post that I was going to do that because then as I'm halfway 2 miles in and sweating on my way to my client, there was a part of me that was going to get on the subway, but I'm like, "No, I said I was going to do this." So then I physically had to do it so that I didn't like disappoint myself or like what I said. So it made me continue to do it. That day I did like 16,000 miles. I was very proud of myself because I don't walk that much. So it was a lot, but it was fun.
Wait, so let me ask you this then. Like in that exact scenario, right? You had a choice. Nobody was gonna know, right? You could have got a fucking Uber or Subway. None of us would fucking know, right? You could have done it, but you didn't. And now, having not done it, what do you feel about doing it?
What, that I did it? That I actually did it?
Yeah.
I just I was proud of myself, like that I set that expectation for myself and that I met it. So I was I was really happy. And now I look for ways to walk around the city all the time. So, and I'm trying to figure out how to do it in the winter time because I get really cold and like make sure I have the right shoes. So, yeah.
So this is a really important thing that I want you guys all to really think about, because it's less about Catherine having the habit of walking now that it's easy. Like, that's almost not impressive, right? It's like once you have the habit and it's easy and you just kind of keep doing it, like, cool, that just became you. The impressive part, the hard part, the brick that she laid down that became the foundation was that one decision, that one choice where she could have taken the subway and she didn't. That is the brick that you need. You guys got to look for bricks like that. Like, those are the points. Those are the bricks. Like, if you can find moments like that, it's a fucking blessing, because those are the bricks that you lay down. And those are not easy to find. Like, again, because right now a brick for her is not just the habit of walking. Now it's kind of easy, right? You don't really get a brick for that. You get a brick for the moment when you could have chosen not to. And then you layer that one brick, and now something new is your normal, right? That is the shit that you want to look for. The bricks that you can lay down. That is the stuff that nobody else is looking at. It's just you. Nobody else is going to know, but you will know. And the most importantly, the higher version of yourself will know. And they're either going to nod their head no, like fuck, or they're going to smirk and be like, thank God. Like, they're taking that one step further, right? So yeah, that's yeah. Thank you for sharing that, because that was a perfect example of exactly that.
I know right in the beginning of the program, Regina and I would say to Regina, like, sarcastically, like, nobody's gonna know if you eat that or not.
Mm-hmm.
Because subconsciously you have to like address the fact that nobody will know.
Yeah.
Except you're not serving yourself by doing it. And so when you kind of have that sarcastic role play with yourself, like, nobody's going to know if I eat this piece of cake right now. I don't even have to put it on the sheet.
Yep.
But who are you hurting?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So it's like you really have to just get so honest with yourself. And I think that's what Regina and I went through, was just this acceptance of honesty in knowing yourself and how you're going to handle these situations in life that you come against with regards to food, fitness, relationships, etc. It's like, yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to share that was kind of a eye opener for us, is the sarcastic part we would say, because I knew I was thinking it.
Yeah.
Right.
But you have to face it head on.
Absolutely. Yeah. Bring that out of the shadows. Yeah. That's
But the other part of that is, I always said Devin and Lindsay will know. And you know why? Because I won't have enough of a calorie deficit that I won't meet that 1.5 pounds.
Oh, we
like,
know.
I won't.
We always know.
I'm like, they
And something happened this week.
What the fuck is this?
Something happened that she didn't record. She definitely ate that peanut butter toast.
No, I went over this week, but it is what it is.
It is, but hey, it's all right.
I'll yell at you tomorrow, Chad.
Yeah, exactly. Oh shit!
I'm ready.
Oh man, I love it.
Yeah, I have a lot of good reasons. Just kidding.
We always do. We always find them.
You can always justify it.
Always. Yeah, that's no, it's funny though, because like that is very true. Nobody will know. And it's always there's some, I forgot who the fuck said this either. I always forget, but it was some inspirational the picture. I had like 1,000 of these, but it basically said the champion is the one in the gym, hunched over, out of breath, sweating, with absolutely nobody around. Right? Like, that is an actual champion, not the person that has to work out in front of people, not the person that has to do this and that, whatever. It's the person who's up till fucking 5 a.m. working on something, right? And nobody fucking even knows it. Like, those are the people that are doing it for themselves. And those are the people that are going to be successful. And those are the people that are going to lead. And everybody thinks it's because they fucking talk nice or they look good or whatever. No, it's because of the shit they did when nobody else was around, right? Fame is something that what is it? You're rewarded in public for what you do in private, right? And that's all it is. It's you choosing you and you putting in the work that makes you proud. So, this week when you guys go through everything, little decisions, big decisions, when you're at, in the fridge and you eat another little piece of something and you did, nobody else knows you did. Like, just remember that the version of you is looking, right? And it's either loading or it's being subtracted. You're either getting closer or you're getting further with every decision that you make. And you will always be proud when you choose with yourself. And you will always be shameful and regret if you don't. Always. It's always clear. Like it's never going to result in any other way. The more bricks that you can lay down, the more you're going to like yourself in the end. I always say what I think, and I'll end with this and I'll shut up. But what I truly think success is in life can boil down to something really, really simple. And it's how you feel about yourself when you're by yourself. That's it. That is it. That to me is success in a nutshell. I think everything else, how you look, how much money you make, whatever, is all just a product of that. It just stems from that. I think if you are happy, truly, like not the bullshit happy where you're like fooling yourself. Like if you actually can stare at yourself in the mirror when nobody else is around, I'm not even saying because of how you look. I'm just saying eye to eye, looking yourself in the mirror, and you actually are proud and happy of who you see, you fucking won. You won. Like, that's it. You won. And if you're not proud, then you got some fucking work to do. And that's okay. But you got some fucking work to do. There you go, Laura. Exactly. Yeah, you don't want to shy away from yourself.
Yeah, I
you
love
want to
that.
look at yourself in the mirror, literally and physically.
Yeah. And I actually noticed that a lot with people in the program in general. Whereas maybe when they started, they weren't logging weight, so they weren't putting the overage of calories, things like that. And now, kind of being in the program a bit, now people are being honest with all of it, telling me like exactly what happened on these days, what they ate, what it was, and still tracking the calories, still tracking the protein, because all this is data. At the end of the day, like, we want to know what you're doing. We want to know what the things are that you do binge eat or what it is that you crave, because we can help you so much better if we know what these things are. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. It literally means you're a human being, and being in a calorie deficit is not easy at all, but it's our job to try and make it as easy as we can for you guys. So I am proud of so many of you for coming to that point with yourselves as well, and being honest with all of this, and it shows.
Absolutely.
Lindsay, I used to wait till after your check-ins to put my Monday weight in because I didn't want you to see it. I know, like, she's gonna know, like you said. She's gonna know.
Game in the system. I like it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, somebody doesn't put a Monday weight, I'm always like, so I'm not sure what happened.
Exactly.
Where we're at right now, but next week
it's not good. If you don't see it, it's not good.
Oh, that's hilarious. I love it. That's good. Oh shit. All right, guys, we'll let you go here. But yeah, just think about that, man. Just think about the version of you that's looking at yourself in the mirror when nobody else is around and is proud. And just take steps towards that person, because that person is always watching. Always. And it's the only person that's going to be beside you for the rest of your life. So make them proud. All right. Peace, guys. Love you guys. Peace.
Thank you.